Hello humans. So hopefully this angle's okay. It's a rainy day out where I am, and I don't know if you can hear the rain, but that would make this a little more cozy. So I wanted to come on and have a little bit of a chat. So I want to clarify the title, okay? First off, if you know, you know. And if this doesn't resonate, you can stay and listen, or you can move along. But if this does resonate, then this will make sense as I talk. It's not about escaping the matrix. It's about understanding that if you have this awareness already, you were never a part of it. You were always playing by your own rules, which was to play, to have fun, to live life, to not follow the rules, to not be stuck somewhere. And even if you are someone that has worked a lot and been in a job and hasn't yet discovered the key to being free and working on your own, then you have probably been that employee that has brought light to the experience and have fun, and you know that you're there because you just have to make money to live, but at the end of the day, you don't get attached to it. You don't see it as a part of yourself. It's just a place where you make money and you leave. And chances are you're someone that has figured out how to be really good at it so that you can get it done and leave. And so you're someone that would have been in school not listening because you know that there's no importance to it. There's no actual importance to sitting there and taking tests. And you're someone that, like, you just realize that you're here to have fun and to create. And that's actually going to set you up for success outside of the matrix. Okay, so to be successful in the matrix, you do what they say, you follow the rules, you go about a system that is designed to keep you at a certain level so that you can never, ever, ever exceed. So you can never travel freely. You can never receive just by being yourself. You can never receive just by being yourself, just by being a human being, right? That's your name, human being, not human doing. So the people that make these great structures, beautiful, beautiful structures that we're in awe of, chances are most of those, and you can actually learn the history of structures, especially in these older cities and countries where they're not changing things every 5 seconds like in America, in the States, where 1 second it was an old, like vintage church, and the next thing you know it's a 7-Eleven. The next thing you know it's a doctor's office. In other countries, they actually keep this art because they realize how long it took to create art. And my point is that those people that create these beautiful structures that work, it's not work to them. It's fun to them because they're creating. They're one with God. They're focused. They're in the zone. They're creating out of a passion for it. They want to see that structure. They're not being told to create because they have to, and they're certainly not getting paid some hourly wage like here in the States. People put up houses in a few days, okay? It's land, it's a forest, and then it's land, and then it's a house, and within a month someone's living in it. And I kid you not, that's how it is, because they're not obviously looking for art. They're not looking to create. They're doing it to get a return, to get money. They're doing it to capitalize, which we know. But when you're a creator and you're creating for fun, you're actually an asset to the matrix. So what they want is to keep you in this box, because when someone sees you, like in school, let's say you're not good at testing, but you're one of the smartest in the class, you're very creative. This does not apply to me. I actually was someone that I would study and I would get good grades at a young age. And I actually don't like that about myself, because I have people in my family that were very, very creative, and they know how to succeed on their own. I was very independent. No one had to tell me what to do. But at the end of the day, if I was given a set way to do something, I would do it and be very good at it. And there's people that don't follow a rule and don't follow the ways, and they actually succeed more than everyone else. And that's a skill. So if you're someone that didn't do well in school, or you don't do well at jobs, your soul knows that you are meant for more. And when they cannot capitalize on your skills and your expertise, and they can't keep you in a box, they're going to try everything. They're going to try to distract you. So that's why they come out with, more apps to get you on, more social media, more ways to steal your attention. Because if your attention is going into the matrix and you're giving it more energy, they're using that to keep you stuck so that they can capitalize the money, so that they can spend the money on what they want. More control, eating food that's not good for you, eating food that's been colored and chemicalized, when if you're outside the matrix, you can grow your own food. You can have fruits in literally a matter of months. You can stick a potato in the ground and you can have potatoes. Now, I do this. You don't have to have a green thumb. You don't have to use fertilizers. You literally can just take organic soil, stick potatoes in, and you will have more potatoes. And I know this because I've done it. You can stick a pineapple in the ground and have more pineapple. Why am I saying this? Because if you're here and you're literally like so tired, so drained, I want you to know that you're not alone. You're drained because they're draining your energy. So if we could do this together, we would make so much more progress. Now, I am a music artist. I create music. But when I create music, it takes a lot of focus and energy. And I am using as much energy as I can to focus on creating music, at the same time keeping my well-balanced life, keeping my mental health. And it does take a lot of focus and energy, but I do find for me at the time, it's easier to come on and give a little inspirational chat, because while I work on music, I want to keep you guys focused on the purpose of this channel and this community that I'm growing. It is to allow us to realize that yes, nature can heal you. Spending time in nature gets you closer to God, allows you to discover ideas in which you can set yourself free from the matrix, but also it's to just come together and give ideas in the comments of what do you guys do to disconnect? Okay, so my goal for this year is to actually disconnect from my iPhone and I have a camera, and start getting a film camera and putting out my videos that way, using my webcam when I want to go live on my computer, and just spending less time distracted, because I know at the end of the day that it's not about productivity. It's about the more you can set yourself free, the more you can set others free. So another thing I wanted to mention is you can make a difference in small ways. So maybe you can't afford all organic and you can't afford all eco-friendly and small business, but I want you to keep in mind that every time you purchase something and you give your money away, which is an energy, it's not just a piece of paper, it's something that you earned. Now, in the matrix, when you work harder, you earn more. But if you've allowed and figure out how to remove yourself from the matrix, focusing on God, your faith, allowing Him to provide abundance, you realize that the more creative you are. So let's say you're upcycling things and you're selling them and you're flipping them. Let's say you have a business and you're creating food. The more creative you are, or you're creating a course by something you learned, you actually get paid even more. And a lot of people know this, but when you're in the matrix, it's hard to see ideas. People always say, oh, I can't discover my purpose, or I don't know my purpose. But how much time a day are you spending on actually discovering your purpose? Or are you online scrolling and giving your attention away, or numbing yourself with alcohol or drugs so that you don't have to feel, because you realize that it can be a bleak world? But there is heaven and there is hell, and I don't believe in that in a religious sense. And there's a lot of people that feel the same. You can create heaven or hell on earth, and it's a mindset. So when you're constantly stuck in the past, thinking of what you've done wrong, thinking of where you've distracted yourself, how many years you've wasted, how many people you've how many times you've people pleased to people that did not deserve your energy, when in the end you realize the only way to take it back is to start today. Start right now. Start on that project. Start on that idea. I talk about it a lot here. But the point is that you're not alone. We have this community so that you can come and realize that the more you relax in nature, the more you eat high vibrational foods and switch out your coffee for tea and switch out your, let's say you do, I don't want to go on a tangent. The way that you can also help to give your energy, we're talking about money, is that when you go to make a purchase, you say to yourself, is this the type of future I want? Is this the type of planet I want my children to live on? Even if you're not going to have children, okay? It's not just about your family and your bloodline, but the generation of every creature on this planet, okay? So when you shop at certain stores and you give your money, I encourage you to look up how they actually do create their products, how they actually do capitalize on children and labor, and the type of meat you're eating, what is going on with those animals, and how they're actually extorted for a better flavor. I'm not going to get too much into it, but the clock is at 11:11, so I don't want to go too long here. But it's like, you're probably on your lunch break right now, so I just wanted to put this out. This might be out later when you're off work, but when you go to spend money, that money is circulating into the universe of energy. So when you're buying food that literally directly supports a farmer, you're making it so that more farmers can grow food. Now, there is an idea that almost everything in the store is sprayed, chemicalized, and it's by, I want to say big pharma. I don't know if I can even say that, but like, the 6 industries in the world that own everything. Okay, so basically, I've come to realize that's not really true. There are certain brands when you're shopping, you can look and it'll say that it's a small farm. You can buy eggs from a small farm, milk. There's certain snacks, cereals, chips. So there's certain things where you are literally spending. So what I'll do is like get everything that I can afford, in keeping in mind that I don't want to eat chemicals, but then every time I go, I'll spend on one item that's like a small business, okay? So there's a granola called Elizabeth Granola. Now, she's literally making this granola on her own, and she's got her own warehouse, but it's organic, and she's literally not putting canola oil, which is almost every granola. There's also like tortilla chip brands where they're using organic corn. There's so many brands like eggs where certain ones have been bought out. You can look it up. It takes 2 seconds to look up, has this been bought out, which means that those chickens don't even have to go out in the grass for more than 5 minutes a day, and they can say that it's free range. So the rest of the day, they're literally sitting in their own filth, and you're consuming that bacteria. And a lot of people, I know a lot of you do not care the quality of the animal's life before you eat it, which is pretty cruel, because if you're consuming food from an animal that was like that, you're literally, your money is going towards a planet like that, okay? So, for example, I usually don't eat a lot of meat, but my brother just got back from a hunting trip, and they brought the best deer ever, which, yes, is sad to me, but they literally hunted this deer on their own in an area where the deer is overpopulated, and it had no antibiotics. The deer lived a beautiful life, certain ages that you can hunt. So consuming meats and proteins that were from animals that were not extorted is actually, a lot of you can look this up, it's energy, because the way that the emotions that the animal was in before it was killed, that's the energy you're actually taking on. So when you go and get a hamburger from your favorite fast food and then you realize, oh, I'm like angry every time I eat meat. It's not just that meat, because you can look up meat and alcohol go right to your liver, which is where your emotion of anger sits. This is nutrition. This is Chinese medicine. However, it's not just that. It's also the state of the meat, okay? So I eat meat and I don't get like out of nowhere I'm stressed and angry. unless it's a certain type of fast food, okay? So if you're eating meat that is from animals that got grass, got fresh air, we're eating organic feed, you're going to be fine, and chances are that is going to give you more energy and protein. Now, if you're someone that is eating more vegan, yeah, you probably are at a higher state, and that is a great option, but there's many people that don't know or have the time or the energy to do that, because you have to replace with a lot of supplements, a lot of nutrients to live like that, to live that lifestyle where you're taking out protein. But it is a great lifestyle because you're clean, you probably have less mental fog than most people, and honestly, if you're someone that is all holistic and all organic all the time, that's incredible. But a lot of us, I'm here to help people that, think that they can't afford it. But it's not about affording it. It's about your time and energy. And I know a lot of you don't want to come home from work and cook. And this is not a wellness channel, or this is not a cooking channel, but this is a wellness channel, because when you spend time in nature, you realize that you actually want to align to that inner peace. And by consuming more fruits and vegetables, you actually will align to that, okay? And that's why animals are so peaceful, because they're not eating, and it depends on the animal. Like if they're in the wild, they always have energy. They're free roaming. Elephants live on leaves, just leaves. Because of the way that they live their life, they're not eating chemicals, they're not spending time looking at screens. They're out in nature. So the more time you spend in nature, the less you're going to want to eat, because you're going to need less energy, because you're saving your energy. You're storing your energy. It's like sloths that sleep all day and then they just graze on vegetables because they're not spending their energy. So again, this is about you, human beings, spending your energy on toxic social media, on the news, on things that are draining your energy. And I just have literally one question. The more you tune into it, does that change anything? You being a viewer to the news channel, you being a viewer to that drama show, you being a viewer, and some of you do it out of habit because, obviously, this is psychology. If you grew up in a house of chaos, you're going to want to watch chaos. If you grew up in a dark household, you're going to want to watch dark movies, dark shows, because it feels familiar. Now, that's fine, but just know that it's literally darkening your energy, taking away your energy that you could be using to better your life, to get in shape, to learn a new hobby, a new skill. When the end of the day, it's not about productivity. It's about expanding your awareness to more. So these people that, like the suicide rates that just go up every single day because people feel like they're living in the matrix. They feel like they're depressed. They feel like all these things that they make you feel. They push it out on videos. They push it out in music. The lyrics, like just sit and listen to one of your most mainstream songs that you love and hear what they're saying. The things that they're actually programming you. That is programming. We know this. That's when you're in the matrix and you're being programmed. Now, if you can just take a week to try to listen to music without lyrics, maybe some lo-fi, maybe some, acoustic strumming, maybe just like instrumental rock, instrumental jazz, whatever it is, you can literally notice how your energy is different around certain people. You're no longer overreacting because you're like in a calm state. You're not being programmed for anger, for hatred. And the whole point of this planet is to literally align with God, and the energy of God is love, because it's either love or fear, and fear is acting out of conditions. So like, I'm going to do this job so I have money to pay my bills. But love is like, I'm going to create this thing just because I want to. After work, when you don't have to focus on bills, creating something that lifts you up. And if you decide to sell that, or you just sit in the energy of looking at something you created, you're helping yourself to feel better, to feel proud of yourself, and realize that it's not all about productivity. It's just about enjoying life. So when you do that, yes, you could sell it and make abundance, and that's a way to escape. But at the same time, it's not about escaping, but enjoying your life now, gratitude. So you might want to teach art to someone. You might want to teach inner peace to someone. And what that's doing is awakening us together. The whole point is that you're not alone. Awakening together, knowing that God is guiding us every single step of the way through your joy. Okay, there's something called the smile test. So if you're excited to do it, then it is for your highest good. And the purpose of doing things for your highest good is just to feel good. There's no other purpose. There's no marks to make yourself like look like a better person. It's just to feel good. Because what happens when you feel good, you treat those around you better. You realize opportunities that were there in front of you. You believe in yourself again. And when you believe in yourself, you might start that business. You might put out that music. You might put out that art. It doesn't have to be perfect. The Matrix loves perfection. So you're looking at these superstars that have hair and makeup done for hours on end, and you're giving them your attention and energy, and you're saying, well, I'm not as good as that. They took hours to perfect their voice, to perfect what they had. And because they had so much time and energy, they did it. They focused on it. But we're over here like working hard in a rat race just to get there. And then we're like, we're not as good as them. Like, give yourself some grace. If you are a hard worker, then chances are you're literally putting money above your mental health and your well-being. Like, you're so afraid to just take one day off work to sit, not to binge TV, not to be like, when we're kids, we want to stay home, we're sick because we just want to watch TV. We just want to relax. That's, again, more escape. You wouldn't have to escape if you had a life that you loved. It's about building the life that you don't have to escape from, right? And the whole point, the whole way to do that is that the more you do things that you enjoy throughout your day, in between, sticking little things in before work, after work, waking up earlier, you're going to be less tired, so you're going to have to sleep less. You're going to want to numb yourself less, and you're going to scroll less. Why? Because you enjoy your life. You're not going to want to be on your phone. And even if you're scrolling, you're going to be like, wait, I could be doing something hella more fun. I could be out fishing. I could be out, jogging. I could be out gardening. I could be out painting. Like, hobbies that are meant to expand your mind so that at the end of the day, we're not going down this doom path to this horrible apocalypse, because we realize, wait, that doesn't have to be the reality. That doesn't have to be the future that our kids live in. We can start today. There's many people, thousands, millions, billions of people already doing this in the world. So this is for the people that are doing it and need that encouragement that you're on the right path. Keep going, because we're like literally making strides. There's more companies every day that are deciding to choose the planet over profit, okay? So little things that you can do in your life to make yourself feel good, so you don't have to think that depression is an option, or that, suicide is an option, because the whole point of being alive is to enjoy life, and they will do everything to make you think that you're not supposed to enjoy life, right? Like, just work hard. Just work when you're younger so you can enjoy life later. No, that's never going to happen. If you're right now not enjoying life, you will never enjoy life. That is a fact. That is literally a fact, because it's science. It's quantum physics. How you are perceiving your life now is how you will continue to perceive it until you change your perception. So if you realize that, okay, I'm doing this work in the morning so that I can have passions in the afternoon. Not I'm working all day, every day for years so that I can retire early. No. Do both now. And before you know it, if you are working on something that is bringing in abundance, before you know it, that is going to take off. And you are no longer going to have to go to that soul-sucking job, okay? So when you're on social media, are you giving your attention to a corporation that already has millions and is taking energy from innocent people just to keep you in the loop? Or are you giving to those small farmers on social media, those people that are literally like showing you that they're an organic small farm, selling food, or those people that create clothing where that they're helping the planet and they're upcycling from their home, or people who are woodworking? Like, my idea is to get people to focus on those creators rather than those corporations. And when you're spending money, if you can, look for small businesses you can support, because chances are it's not always more expensive. Like, if you're getting detergent, those powdered detergents from a small, holistic shop online or in person, you're actually going to be using less than those liquid detergents where the plastic's going to end up in the ocean. You're literally going to use less because it's more concentrated, right? So certain things that you can do will actually save you money. Switching your cleaning supplies to vinegar and baking soda, or orange peels. You can put orange peels and vinegar in a spray bottle, and that's your cleaning. A lot of you already know this, but I know a lot of you don't know this. And this is like just a loving reminder that you can start living your dream life. So, if you don't believe in vision boards, just set your freaking desktop to something you want to experience. What you want to take a vacation away to the beach, put it as a beach, put it as an island. You want to go to Italy, put it as Italy, and just look at it and just literally spend a minute, 1 minute, because it takes 17 seconds to impress your subconscious. So if you take 1 minute every single day to just look at that and say, I'm there now. I'm so grateful. I'm there now. You're actually going to enjoy your life more, because you realize that everything you do, that job you go to, doing the workout in the morning, eating better, is all to get you to that place where you've invested your money, saved your money, and multiplied, and you can go take that trip. And before you know it, that trip is going to manifest itself because you did the action every single day. Like, you can literally sit in gratitude for your life, and ideas will come to you how you can be more grateful. You're going to get an idea to sell the things that you're not using in your home. You're going to get an idea to start a course from the knowledge that you have. You're going to get an idea to go back to school and get a degree for something you really enjoy. Not just because you want to get a degree to have a degree. You're going to take that course online. You're going to learn. You're going to research. And you're going to realize that it's not about getting there as quick as you can, because it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's about a little step every single day. Being grateful for where you are, writing down the things you're grateful for. And even if you don't believe in God, just praying to yourself in a source saying, like, thank you, okay? Because whether you believe in God or not, something has been getting you out of bed every day while millions of people don't wake up. Something has been putting food on your table. So I just wanted to come on and give this little message, because I feel like in the little videos I post, in the few songs that I get the energy to create, I am not giving out this broader message that I want you guys to understand that this community, the whole purpose is to align with your dream life, to align with God, to align with nature, because at the end of the day, we're literally here to create heaven on earth. And it's possible now. You don't have to wait for some future. It's possible now, okay? So I am putting out some new music. I am going to be putting out more raw, authentic acoustic videos, and I'm going to be making better reels where I'm inspiring you to get in nature, to drink tea, to make your own juice, to sit, to meditate, to create art. And I will be uploading more art to my online plant shop, and I will be uploading more plants because they're growing and thriving. So if you can bring nature in your home, like go out and look around and bring some plants inside. Local shops, obviously, like actual house plants, but sometimes I do find vines, and I make sure that they're safe, and I put them in water, and I hang them near my windowsill. So bringing nature inside and just aligning to it for more inner peace, because I do believe that there is a planet that wants to be created from our planet that we have, a new earth. I do believe in that, and it's not something in the future, it's something now. How you treat your neighbor, how you treat someone in the store, sending a smile, like noticing people. Some people don't like to be looked at, but just know that that person that's looking at you just wants to connect. So send a smile back. We don't have to be so hostile with strangers. Like, how you treat someone, how you treat yourself is how you're going to treat people. So the more you sit alone and treat yourself better and don't numb yourself, but instead you choose healthy habits, that's how you're going to treat other people. With conscious awareness that we're all humans figuring this out together. You don't have to be alone, okay? And if you stayed to the end, I am so glad this literally resonated with you. And to the people that didn't stay in the end, you're not here, but hopefully future videos will connect with you, because I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to get on and let these people know that what you're doing is working every single day. You're making a conscious habit and decision to live a better life, so that future generations can live a better life than we did, without constantly focusing on social media, spending hours. Like, you're not going to get those times back. You're not going to get any day back. You're not going to get any minute back. You're not. You're never, ever going to get this body in this version of yourself back. So send that text, make that call, apply for that job, or apply for that business. Again, things that you want to do, not just to make money, but for fun. Start that business. Go out and dance in the rain and literally live your life right now. There is no future, and you might not even wake up. That is a legitimate thing that you could tell yourself. It's not a fear, it's just fact that you literally have another day. So don't waste it. Enjoy it. Don't take it for granted, because God created the world for you to enjoy, and you're sitting here thinking, oh, well, one day I'll enjoy it. Or if you're religious, oh, in heaven, I'll enjoy it in heaven. No, heaven is here now on earth. And the way that you do it is by being a kinder human being kinder to yourself, and starting to live your dream life right now, taking action right now. Okay? So, like, literally work on your passions, practice for fun, for enjoyment. And if you want to share it with the world, I encourage you to, because then you're going to realize that you're actually inspiring other people. That's the whole point of social media. It wasn't to show your perfect life. It wasn't to curate everything perfectly and make sure that there's no voice cracks and there's no glare and there's no this and that. It's literally to share your life as a human being, to inspire other human beings to live a better life, to connect. Okay? So I have another channel where I always say sending you so much love, so I would like to just say sending you so much love, but the whole point of this is to realize that you're further along than you think. If you're here consuming this type of better content, then you're a lot further in life than you think that you are. Okay? So if you do want to experience some high vibrational music, I do have more music coming out. But if you are new and you just happen to find this video, join, literally join now, because the whole point of this is to awaken something in you. I call it your inner fox, which is like your creativity, because foxes are very creative. They use their creativity and their intelligence to adapt to situations. They're very loyal. They literally will stay in packs, and no matter what, they will connect with each other. Like, the point is that you're human beings connecting with each other. So in this community, it's a pact. So we're going to be loyal, because the whole point is that we're stronger in numbers. We don't have to do everything on our own. Okay? So comment anything that you want to talk about in the comments, and let me know if you're starting a project, if you're starting a new life path for yourself. And hopefully you can find some encouragement here. Okay, so I am the Forest Fox, indie music artist, and I will be putting out more art and content very soon.